As Chancellor of Richmond, the American International University in London, I welcome you all and declare the 2012 graduation ceremony to be open.
I would like to give you my welcome to this celebration of the graduation of Richmond University's graduating class of 2012. You are graduating in what is our 40th anniversary year. We have newly defined the Richmond University vision to be an international university offering high-quality undergraduate and postgraduate education, research excellence, and public engagement. The university is renewing its commitment to internationalism and diversity. We want to provide our students with high quality in teaching and learning, and to provide a student experience which prepares our students for employability and leadership in the global economy, and for the challenge of global citizenship in an increasingly global and interdependent world. With all these exciting developments underway and building on the well-recognized academic excellence of Richmond, I am confident that our 40th anniversary year will be a catalyst for the university to achieve even greater success in the future. According to William Sullivan and Matthew Rosen in their 2008 book, A New Agenda for Higher Education, higher education contributes most to society and is most faithful to its own deepest purpose when it seeks to prepare students for lives of significance and responsibility. How will you, as graduates of Richmond, achieve significance and responsibility in your lives after you leave Richmond? And how have we as educators prepared you for such a challenge? According to William Sullivan, in order for graduates to live lives of significance and responsibility, it will be important for students to achieve what Aristotle called phronesis, or practical wisdom. Now, this is not the wisdom based on deep intellectual knowledge, but a practice-based wisdom that is based on learning from experience. In your future lives, you will need to be able to step back from the energy and noise of everyday life and to allow yourself the time to reflect on what is really meaningful in your lives and to make choices based on phronesis or practical wisdom based on your learning from experience. And yes, you as graduates of Richmond University, I'm sure will achieve such lives of significance and responsibility. I'd like to give my thanks to the trustees and academic governors of the university, and especially Derek Pollard, who will be retiring this year as chair of the academic governors. I'd also like to thank Michael Hoffman for his hard work and commitment to the university as chair of trustees, and of course, to Cecile Taylor, our chancellor, for his passion for the university, and in case you haven't experienced it already, his passion for you, the students of Richmond. I'd also like to thank our outstanding faculty, and especially Professors Wolfgang Deckers and Michelle Cohen. Will they stand? And in fact, I would like all the faculty to stand as well. So let's give them applause as well, all the faculty. Now, I'd like the graduates to stand up, and if you can, turn around. Stand up and turn around and face. Stay standing. And at this point, I think it's very important that we, the faculty and staff of the university, trustees and governors, and especially you as students, give thanks to your families for all the support they have given you for being able to achieve your success as a graduate of Richmond. So let's applaud the families. And now you can sit down. Finally, your graduation from Richmond today does not mark the end of your relationship with the university. Being a Richmond graduate is something special that connects you to students and alumni in over 139 countries around the world. You are now part of that community, which is the Richmond Alumni Network. Our program of alumni services will help you to maintain these friendships, these relationships that you have made, and to make new contacts to benefit your career and social life. Richmond alumni can be found in all walks of life. They make a difference to societies around the globe. Keep in touch with Richmond via our social media or the alumni website, and let us know about your achievements and what you're up to. Like your families and friends here today, we, the faculty and staff, trustees and academic governors, are proud of you, are now alumni of the university, and we would like to keep in touch and support you and celebrate your and the university's future successes. I would like to conclude with my personal congratulations. This is my first Richmond graduation as the still relatively new president of Richmond, so it gives me enormous pleasure to address you today and to offer you congratulations for your achievement and really say that I'd like to just congratulate you as the Richmond University graduating class of 2012.
Would Lord Adonis please stand and join me? This is the citation for the award of a degree to Lord Adonis, an honorary doctorate in public administration. Benjamin Franklin wrote to President Washington that the most important question to ask of anyone is, what good will you do in the world? A sentiment echoed by Martin Luther King's question, what are you doing for others? Lord Adonis's life and career has been the embodiment of these questions. Despite being in care as a child, he's become a distinguished scholar, having written 7 books, and from 1998 to 2005 served as a government advisor on education, and then headed Tony Blair's No. 10 policy unit from 2001 to 2003. Andrew Adonis is the son of the Greek Cypriot father Nikos. His mother, who is English, left the family home when Andrew was 3. Shortly thereafter, he was put into care and lived in a council children's home until the age of 11. In 1974, he won a scholarship to attend Kingman Hill boarding school. He is and was a brilliant scholar. Subsequently, was awarded a place at Keble College, Oxford, graduating with a first-class bachelor's degree in modern history. Then at Christ Church, he was subsequently completed a Doctor of Philosophy before being appointed to a fellowship in history and politics at Nuffield College. From 1991 to 96, he was an education and industry correspondent and public policy editor at the Financial Times. In 1996, he moved to The Observer to work as a political columnist, leader, writer, and editor. In 1998, he was appointed by Prime Minister Blair as the Education Policy Advisor in the No. 10 Policy Unit, and subsequently headed that unit from 2001 to 2003. He became an expert in the reform of English schools and strongly supported the conversion of comprehensive schools that were not doing so well to academies. In 2005, he was appointed a life peer of the House of Lords, and he is now Lord Adonis of Camden Town. Following his appointment to the House of Lords, he became a minister in the Education Department, and I had the great pleasure and honor of working with him. He encouraged state schools to adopt the best practices of good private schools, and genuinely believed in giving individual schools, such as academies, more independence and authority from central and local education control. He was promoted to the Cabinet of the United Kingdom in 2009 as the Secretary of State for Transport. Until recently, he was director of the Institute for Government, and currently is embarking on writing another book. I believe you've written 7 already. Considering his early background as a child in care, Lord Adonis's career is quite extraordinary. His support for schools having greater independence is greatly appreciated by Richmond, the American International University in London, which is itself a private non-profit institution. Andrew, I can think of no finer example of anyone who has done more good for others, particularly in the field of education. It gives me, therefore, the greatest pleasure to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Public Administration, Honoris Causa. American degree laws require that I give you formal degrees. Lord Adonis, in accordance with the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Richmond, the American International University in London, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Public Administration, Honoris Causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. In witness, therefore, we have invested with you this hood and have presented this diploma. Congratulations.
Chancellor, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, the Daily Mail newspaper, which, as some of you may know from reading it, is a scurrilous rag, and which never spares its victims, once said of me, Lord Adonis is the greatest offence ever against the Trade Descriptions Act. For those of you who think I'm here under false pretences, I apologise to you profusely. However, from my point of view, with these wonderful, if inappropriate, names and titles, there isn't much by way of earthly honours that improves on them, but the honour which you bestow on me today means an enormous amount to me for 3 reasons. First, I hugely admire you, Chancellor, and all the work you have done in British and American education over more than 4 decades, including all the work to make this university such an outstandingly successful institution. And I hope we can show our appreciation to you, Chancellor, now in the usual way. It has been my privilege to work with your Chancellor on school reform in England. I have myself been inspired by the vision, passion, and practical wisdom which your Chancellor has brought to the task, and I know the same is true of his work in higher education. It is said that you never know someone fully until you read their obituary, by when it's a bit late, and then it all slots into place. Sir Cyril has got one up on the Grim Reaper by writing a history of Richmond University, which I have recently read. He recalls that he was able to secure your stunning site on Richmond Hill by persuading the director of the trust which then owned the site, the Methodist Missionary College, to part with it for a mere £300,000. The director of the Methodist Trust was one Cyril Bennett, and Sir Cyril writes of him in his book, and I quote, "Cyril Bennett and I got on extremely well, particularly as my parents had been missionaries in the Congo." Now, that explains everything to me. I wasn't aware that Sir Cyril's parents had been missionaries. If ever the missionary gene, the determination to convert others to great causes, whatever it takes, was passed from one generation to the next, it was passed by Sir Cyril's parents to him, and all that he has done to build this great university bears witness. Secondly, it is a particular honour to be here present today in this, your 40th anniversary year. In those 4 decades, Richmond has grown from a small campus for American students to study abroad into today's remarkable international university with 1,000 students from more than 100 countries, with campuses not only here but in Rome and Florence, 2 cities which, while not a patch on London, have certain other compensating features which especially appeal to the young and the idealistic. Sir Winston Churchill famously said, "We mould our institutions and they mould us." No institutions are more vital to moulding society than universities, as sources of learning, as beacons of humanity, and as schools of citizenship. And you have built a great university, which is exemplary in all these respects. Not least of Richmond's attributes, and this is my 3rd reason for being so glad to be here this morning, is that you are pioneering international education. You are the face of the future. Students moving between countries and continents, overcoming barriers of culture and language, not by denying their existence, but by deep mutual knowledge and understanding. In this respect, you have always been ahead of the game, and nowhere more so than in your intention to open a Confucius Institute to teach Mandarin, and your expansion to take 100 Chinese students on internships paid for by the British government. In many ways, ladies and gentlemen, the last century has been the American century. In many ways, the next century will probably be the Chinese century. But just as the glory of the United States has consisted so largely in its inspirational outreach to the rest of the world, so the expansion of China into a benign international community matters more than anything else in our age. As a university, you are playing your part. It is a great honour to my country that you do so here in London, part of that middle continent between America and Asia. The Renaissance was founded and flourished in Florence. But London has made its own contribution to civilization, and nowhere more so than in its centres of higher education, none of which flourishes more brightly than Richmond, the American International University in London. And that's why it gives me such pride and pleasure to be with you this morning. Thank you very much.
Would Professor Bob Lepard please stand? Michael Hoffman, the Chairman of Trustees, will read the citation for Professor Lepard.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, Robert, or Bob Lepard as we call him, joined Richmond's then School of Business in 1994. Initially as an adjunct professor, he taught both undergraduate and graduate students. Over the last 20 or so years, Bob has accumulated a wealth of experience both at Richmond and as a visiting lecturer at many universities in the UK, delivering seminars for graduate engineers and the like. His students have always appreciated the very practical approach that Bob brought to their learning and his ability to listen to their concerns and to their feedback. Having helped to create the university's very first graduate program, the MBA, Bob also spent a period of time as its director. However, with the need for a new strategic direction, the university eventually took the decision to close this program, and Bob went on to serve as chair for the Department of Business and Economics from 2004 to 2009. His experience as department chair and other abilities led to his eventual appointment in 2008 as interim provost, which he managed alongside his other role as professor of strategic management. In January 2009, his appointment as the university's provost was confirmed. To this permanent role, Bob brought a wealth of management experience gained not only at Richmond, but also from within the engineering industry. During the course of his career, Bob served as both director and project manager with Edward Bateman Limited, a mining and minerals industry player. Much of his work centered on large-scale projects in the Middle East, Africa, Europe, and North America, and also included specialist areas in strategic and economic redevelopment of deprived areas. His expertise extended to all aspects of engineering, project funding, and the financial management of projects. He is currently managing director of SCE Querbus, a property development company based in France, and director of Professional Engineering Services Consultants, a company specializing in computerized management systems. Recent consulting projects include the reindustrialization of areas of northern Spain and the design and implementation of management training systems for China oil industries. As provost at Richmond, he led many successful campaigns, including numerous validations and revalidations of the university's various academic programs. The president is especially indebted to Bob for his role, as am I, in successfully managing the university's relationship with the Middle States Commission on Higher Education, one of our accrediting bodies, and also for leading on the establishment of a new strategic plan for the university, which lays the foundation for its future development. Bob Lepard has left a significant mark on the university. He will be remembered long into the future as someone that students found easy to talk to and that colleagues appreciated for his listening skills and his very sound advice.
Professor Robert Lepard, in accordance with the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Richmond, the American International University in London, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Business Administration, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. In witness thereof, we invest you with the hood and present you with a diploma. Congratulations.
Honored guests, my colleagues at Richmond, parents, and particularly the students of the graduating class of 2012. Speeches at commencement are intended to be full of advice for the future. In today's environment, that's not an easy thing to achieve. Every day we look at the news and things have changed and moved on. When I first heard that I was to be awarded the honorary doctorate today, it caused me to reflect on the successes and some failures, not only during my career at Richmond, but also in the earlier period of my professional life. It is now over 45 years since I first graduated and set out to travel the world. It was a time when the world was more stable and career paths predetermined. It was a time when people sought a job for life, and the decision of what that job would be was decided shortly after leaving school. Two major influences on my career emerged from this reflection. Firstly, the importance of having mentors and leaders who gave good advice. And secondly, to be able to adapt to the change in the world around us, and the changes particularly in society and technology. I would like to be able to say giving advice to students that I planned my career, but this was not the case. The world around me changed politically, socially, economically, and as it changed, my interests changed. The first move from a protected environment of an education in England out to Africa, the Middle East, and Asia provided me with new experiences and the opportunity to learn about new cultures and try new languages. However, my advantage was there was sufficient time in those days and little pressure compared to today's environment. To be able to adapt to that change is vital for the graduates of today. I was fortunate to have excellent mentors and leaders over the years, especially at Richmond. Good leaders bring about change and help others to progress. This increase in the rate of change of our lives is of concern to all of us. Science and technology lead us in one direction, political and social pressures lead us in another. One only has to look at Asia to see the changes, where China has led the way, India, Malaysia, Indonesia, and many others are catching up fast. South America is closing the gap, and now Africa is waking up. For the class of 2012, in your graduation, this will be the new world of your workplace, not a single element or country. Ultimately, the next generation of our leaders across all the world will have to consider these aspects. To be leaders in this changing world will require many skills. As I look down the list of graduates of the class of 2012, I'm sure you've attained these skills. Many of you are going on to further studies, some returning to family businesses, others entering the world of employment across a wide range in the arts, politics, and business. Over the years, many students have come to me as a lecturer and as provost and asked for advice on their future careers. How can I pass my examinations was usually the first question. What will it take to be successful? How can I become a leader in my chosen field? But such is the rate of change in our world today that the advice that I would have given to a student 4 years ago when they first attended Richmond might be very different from the advice that I would give today. But fortunately, there are some constants and ways that we can seek advice from history. Throughout the centuries, new and influential leaders have emerged as each age and era has developed. From the classical periods of Athens and Rome to the great age of the Enlightenment and beyond, new leaders and ideas have always emerged. We have moved from an agricultural age to an industrial age, and above all now to what is the so-called knowledge age. The leaders from these periods have not simply accepted change, they have created that change. So can we learn from these great leaders and seek advice from them and the great thinkers of the past, and somehow develop our careers along a satisfactory path? My personal mentor from history has always been Voltaire. If you've had the opportunity to take one of Dr. Michel Cohen's classes, I'm sure you would have been made aware of Voltaire's work. He was vilified, persecuted, incarcerated, and only recognized in his latter part of his life. But his ideas as a leader and agent of change are as fresh and valid today as they were in the 17th and 18th centuries. Voltaire's views on teaching continue to be lessons that future leaders should learn. To Voltaire, freedom of speech, equality were necessary for any society. His views encourage us to question and rectify what we know is wrong. They are embodied in the American Constitution and the Bill of Rights and are the guiding principles of the laws in many countries. So what of the future and the careers for our graduates in this knowledge age? A few years ago, a paper was published which demonstrated that graduates could expect to change their careers and retrain at least twice in their working lifetimes. A more recent paper has shown that this has now risen to 3 or 4 times. So your predetermined careers may not be what you envisage in the future. A defining characteristic of the knowledge age is one of perpetual change. Unlike previous transformations, it is not a period of change followed by stability. It has ushered in an epoch of continuous change on an accelerating cycle. Therefore, the knowledge that will serve each individual and society is constantly evolving. It will require new leaders to develop and manage these skills, and these changes will bring with them the demand for new skills. For our students graduating today, I'm sure that you face the same fears and apprehensions that I had 45 years ago. But be confident, your Richmond degree will stand you in great stead. The study of a liberal arts degree has prepared you well for whatever course you take in life. With the depth of knowledge in your chosen degree, and most importantly, your understanding of other cultures through friendships made at Richmond will enable you to adapt to the coming decades. So is there really any advice for graduates which is meaningful in this age and which I can offer you? Hopefully there is. To return to Voltaire for a moment, he set us a famous riddle in which he asked, which of all things in the world is at once the longest, the shortest, the quickest, the slowest, the most divisible, the most continuous, the most squandered, the most regretted, and something without which nothing can be done, which obliterates what is small and gives life to what is great? The answer, of course, is time. So my first advice to you is to treasure every moment of the time. Utilize it to the full, for it will soon run out. Secondly, to become consciously aware of your relationship to the changes which you will undergo. Knowing how to deal with change, what stresses you about it, what allows you to navigate it most effectively, and what kind of support you need as you move through the change process are all important elements of embracing change. Thirdly, acknowledge and express your true feelings, especially your fears. When change occurs, there are usually a number of different emotions we experience. We tend to focus most of our attention on the details, the specifics, and the circumstances, but not so much on our emotions. However, it is our emotional experience and reaction to change that dictates much of our effectiveness as leaders. Fourthly, continue to study, learn, and develop throughout your life. The desire of learning should be independent of age. And finally, it is the nature of most of us to operate in our comfort zones and to resist change. But if this was always the case, the progress of the world would be slow. But we are fortunate that because new leaders emerge and shake us out of our complacency. I will certainly look to your generation, as the new graduates, and especially to Richmond graduates, to be the next leaders of our world. So embrace all the changes that come your way, discard those which you have no belief, and carry the progress of our world forward. It is in your hands. Thank you.
Will the candidates for the degrees please stand? Mr. Chancellor, I have the honour to present to you the candidates for the Master of Arts and Bachelor of Arts degrees. Shannon Marie Doherty. Veronica Giacu. Ibrahim Abdelhak. Maher Abu Issa. Tala Al-Abdulali. Khadija Al-Duwaik. Sarah Al-Rashdan. Shaika Al-Saba. Maha Al-Sharif. Antonio Alegrado. Justin Angle. Marc-Philippe Assad. Marwan Ayad. Mohammed Ayash. Ivor Batchev. Omar Barakat. Jihane Baremi. Etu Batoj. Teodoro Boazza. Jordan Bonev. Jade Bomush. Claudia Camarena. Inés Camarero Otuegui. Emily Cowley. Maria Franci Chavez Flores. Christine Chigbu. Rose Chitu. Melanie Ann Cole. Christina Corradi. Morgan Curry. Hussein Dajani. Catherine Gibson Daniels. Sarah Jane Daniels. Shivani Dave. Mokhtar Dechemi. Alexandra Domansky. Andrzej Duzinski. Joshua Elfline. Oluwatoyin Fajobi. Rachel Featherston. Raymond Fernandez. Alexandra Catherine Marie Fiola. Lydia Fiorelli. Devon Firuzi. Sarah Foray. Ivan Fuchs. Amalia Gatu. Jacopo Gnechi Rusconi. Blake Goodman. Irina Henneman. Stephen Holzhauser. Samantha Hoppel. David Allen Hunter. Saida Zara Husseini. Xiangyi Chiang. Ashmin John. Orena Jombo. Miabella Josimovic. Christine Kelly. Yana Kelanova. Alina Klana. Josephine Knusten. Nikolai Stefanov Kolev. Adriana Khrushcheva. Stefan Atanasov Kurtev. Rachel Lim Su Chen. Eric Tete Boy Lomote. Alex Hamill. Daniel Martin Di Bustamente. Mohammed Khalil Masri. Thomas McDowell. Rahul Mehta. Vanessa Dawn Miles. Jordana Misrahi. Ahmed Mohammed. Caitlin Morton. Paige Muirhead. Zachary Nadell. Elif Nareen. Anna Nikolai. Heather Nicole Norris-Jones. Nadia Omar. Hannah Orloff. Beatrice Osorio Lietlier. Brianna Paget. Leon Papoutsis. Kendall Pickard. Lorraine Pimienta. Catherine Prusy. Ahmed Rafat. Mishmaul. Yeah. Mark Anthony Richardson. Scott Casey Riggs. Geraldine Rukasha. Jean-Jacques Sassi. Alex Sambushki. Angela Sanchez Castrillon. Maria Hinsakis. Courtney Ellen Schofield. Rushang Shah. Sabrina Shamas. Tatiana Shefe. Mariko Stokel. Hasna Tai. Saskia Teres. Fakir Nafis Uzaman. Olivia Juliana van Buskirk. Luis Fernando Vinals. Benny Vele. Sean Welton. Catherine Marie Worms.
In accordance with the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Richmond, the American International University in London, I hereby confer upon you the Master of Arts degree or the Bachelor of Arts degree for which you have qualified, with all the rights and the privileges pertaining thereto. I also confer upon those graduates who were unable to attend today's ceremonies their degrees in absentia. Congratulations to all of you.
I would now like to ask Ms. Alina Klarner to come to the podium, who will present the farewell address from the students.
Dear everyone, I'm a bit confused. I thought for the price I paid for my graduation ticket, I'd be sitting on stage in a colorful fancy gown, but you know. Thank you anyways for letting me speak today. I'm honored, proud, and grateful, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go easy on you. This speech will argue the centrality of fulfilling the expectations of the previous generations while circumventing the sacrifice of the ambitions innate to the character of the non-established. Oh wait, I forgot. The life ahead of us does not have word limits. It doesn't follow Harvard citation style. And no one will be able to grade your future. So let me rephrase. This speech is about playing the game, but playing it by our own rules. It is about truth and freedom, about the idealism of a young mind. It is about changing the world. But how do we change the world? Well, we answer the three following questions. Where are we now? Where do we want to be? And how do we get there? Where are we now? We're at a stage where there's only one way, the Western way. We are at a stage where sustainability means to produce a fancy, colorful brochure and spend 0.001% of your profits on the environment or the community. We are at a stage where one has to be of a specific standing for one's word to have weight. We're at a stage where it is acceptable to put different value on human life. This is a stage of ignorance. Not ignorance in the sense of not knowing, ignorance in the sense of not challenging. It is a stage where most people ask what instead of asking why. And this leads to fear and narrow-mindedness, where we are desperately holding on to easy answers, always looking for a quick fix. However, we also live in a world where communication and knowledge have less barriers than ever before, where everyone is just a quick plane ride or a Skype call away, where I can confidently say that we have managed to assemble the whole world into one room, more or less peacefully. Where are we now? We're at a stage where the Richmond class of 2012 is about to head out into the real world. Where do we want to be? Well, in a changed world. For me, this is a world where people are not afraid to give up some of their control and try something new, where the cheapest product is also the most economically and ecologically sustainable one, where ethics is not a code, but factual truth, where self-interest leads to a real benefit for society. For one of my dear friends, this is a world where people ask why. And not only do they ask, they also find answers. Maybe not everyone will find the same answer, but it doesn't matter as long as we keep looking. Where do we want to be? In a world where Richmond graduates inspire reason, sustainability, and fairness. How do we get there? Well, some of us were just born that way, so I'm not worried about you. For the rest, creativity, dedication, and belief. Whatever that thing is they call lifelong learning, that is what it should be. Always looking for improvements, always questioning the status quo, building on history without repeating it. Obviously, we are eternally grateful to our parents and those who have supported or even mentored us. But now it is time to take control of our own future. Do you know why you can never find Richmond University in any university ranking? It's because we're just too awesome to be compared. You're welcome.
Alina, thank you very much. Before I ask the Chancellor to close the ceremony, I'd like to remind the audience to please stand during the recessional until the platform party has left the hall. I'd like to thank you very much for being at this ceremony, for the parents and friends, and again, my warmest congratulations to all the graduates of the class of 2012. The Chancellor.
I now declare this 2012 graduation ceremony closed and congratulate all of our graduates and their families for being here.